We are Team Celestial 6 presenting to you the problem statement 1714. Our problem statement title is Software for Speech Language Therapy Clinical Services. The details of our problem statement are as follows. Clinical services with respect to speech language therapy begins with patient allocation to the therapist. The therapist then prepares therapy plan with goals and activities. The respective case supervisor needs to check the therapy plan and provide the inputs for further continuation of regular therapy sessions. All this results in a very tedious and tiring process for the patient. At least post 10 therapy sessions, the therapist writes the progress report of the therapy case. This makes it hard to track the patient's individual development, which could act as a motivation. Hence, we brought the solution to you by digitalizing the speech language therapy clinical services. Our proposed solution includes a comprehensive diagnostic and assessment tools, personalized and adaptive intervention modules, integration of evidence-based practices, unified terminology and progress tracking, advanced data analytics and outcome management.
For the tech stack, we have used HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Vue.js framework. In the backend, we are using Python and Flask module. For the database, we have selected Supabase, which uses PostgreSQL at its core. Here is a website for the proposed solution. The user first lands on the home page where the complete workflow of the therapy process is explained as seen in the various sections. For new users, the sign up option is provided wherein the page dynamically changes based on the selected role, that is the patient, the therapist, or the supervisor. Moving to the interface for the pre-existing users, as the user logs in, they are provided with three options, namely the patient, the therapist, and the supervisor. For the patients, first they have their profile page with all the critical information, including the details of any past medical history, along with the speech disorder that the patient has. Next up, in the Find Therapist tab, patients can enter a PIN code and find the therapists of their liking. Next, we have the My Appointments tab, which displays all the available and unavailable slots. The users can select an available slot according to their comfort and convenience. The My Reports tab shows various variety of information to the patient so that they can get a clear idea on what is going on in the process. We have detailed analysis showing the overall growth and performance in respective areas of therapy over the sessions, so to showcase where the patient needs to improve more, and a graphical view of the patient's skills and the different areas of focus allotted during the therapy. We also include reports after each session so that the patient can reflect upon the therapist's note and put extra effort on them. Next up, we have the exercise page, where the user will have the option to practice the exercise assigned to them by the therapist. To aid in manually order of practice, the patients are provided with the detailed guide of every exercise and the timer to practice the desired exercise. Last but not the least, the patient has the option to provide feedback of the complete speech therapy journey, which will aid in the further improvement of the services. Now let's look at from a point of view of a therapist. Once the therapist logs in, he has the profile details which contain crucial information about his educational qualification. Next up, the therapist has his Appointments tab to manage the upcoming appointments. The therapist can also release appointments for future dates and cancel upcoming appointments. Next up, we have the Patient's Report tab, from where the therapist can send the reports for the sessions to the patient. These reports can also be accessed by the supervisor. Lastly, we have the Supervisor interface. Like the previous two interfaces, we also have the profile page for the supervisor, containing all the important details. On the Therapist's Report tab, the page contains a list of therapists monitored by the supervisor and gives a comprehensive view over each therapist's performance using various metrics to measure the efficiency. And the Report tab is there to see the reports generated by the therapists for each of their sessions. All these tables and data points will be relatedly linked to each other using a relational database PostgreSQL inside of Supabase. This would help ensure that everything remains stable, fast, and keep everything handled efficiently.